Ooh. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Let me send this out real quickly. I hope that y'all are well. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Did I put? Okay, I'm sending this out really quickly. I hope that y'all are having an amazing day. All right. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I told y'all I was gonna come back today. Hey Aaron. Look, I'm trying to pull up my notes on my iPad. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you are watching from. Hey, hey. Hey. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. Hey Tennessee. My name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine leadership strategist. Hey Georgia. And I help ambitious women embody feminine leadership and which supports them in achieving emotional mastery, sustainable success, and magnetic influence. And I absolutely love the work I do. And so today we're going to be having what I like to call clarity. So since it's for those who celebrate Christmas, it is clarity. Is I'm giving Christmas clarity, and I'm supporting you with the emotional violations that's keeping you stuck, so you don't have to walk that same way into 2025. So what I'm going to give you is a gift. Now, I personally do not celebrate Christmas. However, for those who are celebrating, I hope that you are in a space where you are being loved on, you are being supported, you are being just completely cared for. Okay. Um, Again, let me put this on me because it's a little warm. Again, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery feminine leadership architect. I changed my title of feminine leadership strategist. Okay. And so today specifically, I'm gonna be giving you Christmas clarity on the emotional violation spiritually that's literally keeping you stuck. And I want you to not be stuck for 2025. So I'm going to give you this Christmas gift. But let's go ahead and just get started. Why don't we? Okay. Um, so it's Christmas for those who celebrate, and it's supposed to be a day for many that brings what? Joy, peace, reflection. But if we're being very honest, Christmas ain't been Christmasing for a long time. And truthfully, some of you are feeling drained today. Some of you are feeling anxious today. And some of you are feeling very uncertain about what's next. That's really what's happening. Hey, happy Wednesday. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. And I definitely going to be dropping some wisdom today. Okay. So a lot of us are sitting feeling drained, anxious, and uncertain about what's next. You spent all year hustling. You spent all year sacrificing. You have been doing everything you thought you really should have been doing, right? But you still feel stuck. I'm going to say duck. You still feel stuck, don't you? You still feel pretty stuck in that space, don't you? Here's the truth of the matter that I think we need to kind of set the tone for currently right now. The actions that got you here to where you're feeling the way you're feeling right now, um, if you don't do something about that, if you don't switch those actions, they're not going to take you where you want to go in 2025. And this is coming from someone who has manifested several new realities. My work has supported women in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to multi 6 figures. I built a 6 figure business from the ground up myself without hustling. I don't teach women to hustle. I teach women to get in position to get bags. I teach women how to literally rewire their brains so that they can actually align their actions with the desires of their heart so they actually start manifesting the things that they want. That's a lot of the work that I end up doing. And what I'm here to tell you in regard to your actions is that if you don't shift your actions, If you don't do the reset right now, and you don't have to wait until 2025 to do this reset, if you don't hit the reset button right now, you're going to carry the same exhaustion. You're going to carry the same misalignment into this new year. So you can try to write down all the things that you think that you're going to be manifesting, but none of these things are going to come into reality for you until you make a decision to do something different. Okay. So let's talk about it and get into it. You may be making money, right? But you feel like you're still living from paycheck to paycheck or from client to client. And the reason why you're feeling like that is because you are living low level energetics when it comes down to money. And that's causing you to become very spiritually, emotionally, and relationally bankrupt. It is causing you to be in a position to where you are living on fumes, spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. You work extremely hard to get to where you are, but you still feel like something is missing, like something is still not clicking. Okay. It's kind of like you're stuck in this hamster wheel where you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Let me give you a little bit of support on how you can quantum jump by understanding time. Okay. So let's just say you're stuck on a hamster wheel and you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. The reason why you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again is because you don't understand how time actually works. You think that time just simply works with it's 8 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, and it's really not. Really, that doesn't encompass all what time is. I'm going to just talk about the two elements of time, which is your chronos time, which is your seconds, your minutes, your hours, your days. And then you have your kairos time, which is your seasons, your ups, your downs, your ebbs, your flows, your highs, your lows, right? So this the first thing that you need to understand is that there's two parts when it comes down to time. But time itself is a formula. And once you understand the formula, you can quantum jump into a different reality. I teach on this a little bit. One day I'm going to have a full-fledged masterclass on quantum jumping. But basically, you just need to understand the formula of time. The formula of time is this: time equals cause, effect, okay, pattern, season, cycle, okay? So again, time equals there's a cause, then there's an effect, which creates a new pattern, which enters into a season, and that season becomes a cycle. So let's give an example of what this actually could look like. Okay. So let's just say, for example, and I used to be almost 100 pounds heavier. So I'll use this in the event for someone who wants to lose weight, right? So in order for me to lose almost 100 pounds like I did, what I had to do was that I had to change what I was eating. But before that, I had to change the way that I view food. I had to start seeing food as fuel and not food as me filling up. So that's the first thing I had to do. So because I decided to eat more fuel, the effect is that my body started to get more imbalanced and less inflamed. Okay, so we have a cause and we have an effect, which put my body and which created a different type of pattern that my body had been on for a long period of time, which was keeping me imbalanced, which caused me to go to the doctor in 2004 with them saying I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I reversed all of those symptoms without having to, do anything with them, not having to take their medication and all of those things, because I caused something different by making a decision to eat fuel. Me causing myself to eat fuel made an effect on my body, which rewired the way my body operated, okay, which created a new pattern, which put my body in a different type of season, which created a brand new cycle. And when you think about time, it always ends up in cycles. 28 days, if you want to see what's going on with your skin, all you have to do is do a 28-day assessment, because every 28 days you are getting a new top layer of skin. So everything runs in cycles. If you ever want to know the health of your body, all you have to do is check in and see how your menstrual cycle is for that month. If your menstrual cycle is coming from a space of where you're having extreme cramps, there's something going on in the aspect either with the liver, the kidneys, the heart, or the spleen. If we're not having a cycle at all, that means that there is an imbalance happening that's taking over so much, whether it's in the spleen, the heart, the kidneys, and the liver. Those are the four organs that need to be balanced in order for you to have a complete cycle. Conception is something else. But just for a cycle, if you are not having one, this is coming from someone who didn't have one for 21. Let me say this. This is coming from someone who had a regular cycle for 21 years, from the age I was 11 years old, from the time that I got it, all the way up until 33 and a half. Okay. and shifted all of that. And I am now 41. Cycle been coming consistently for the last 8 years, more than it ever has in my entire life since I got it. Okay. So when you can quantum jump into a new reality. Me making a decision to quantum jump into a healthier reality was me making a decision to see food as fuel and start treating my body in that manner, which created a new pattern, which put me in an elevated season, which created a new cycle of life for me, which improved the current cycle of life for me. Okay. So understand that time operates in the space of cycles, and it's a process that ends up happening. So when you find yourself on a hamster wheel, it's because you keep doing the same thing. When you say, I don't know why I keep attracting this type of people or these type of men into my life, it is because you're on the same hamster wheel. You're on the same hamster wheel. You're doing the same thing that causes the same thing. This is how women end up meeting basically the same type of man, but a different body. This happens because there hasn't been a disruption in what you cause, so that you actually, whatever it is that you're magnetizing into your space, this is why it keeps happening, because you're not aware of how you are causing these things. This is why I tell women all the time, don't get so obsessed with shadow work that you forget to do mirror work. And a lot of women don't know how to do mirror work until they come and work with me, because what you have to understand is about your life is a reflection of your mirror. The people in your life are reflections of your mirror. Those are just different angles. And as much as you want to sit here and try to say that you're so different from the narcissistic person that you are actually calling into your space, there's an element within you that is attracted to that and that agrees with that energy. And the thing is, if you don't get to the root of that, this is why you continue to go through the cycle of bad relationship after bad relationship after toxic relationship, until eventually it makes you ill physically. Okay. That's how it happens. So you literally can quantum jump into a new reality by shifting what you cause. How do you shift what I cause? How do I cause something different? By starting to be more intentional and strategic. How do I become more strategic and intentional with my moves as a woman? Learn how to play chess. Learn how to play chess. When you begin to understand the game of chess and you put yourself in a position of alignment so that you understand how to win, every move you make will always be your best move, because you will always be intentional. You will always be strategic, because you understand your next move always got to be your best move, because it could easily be your last move. This is why it's important for you to understand chess, because life is chess. One wrong move, it's a wrap. So if you are consistently on a hammer wheel, if you are consistently experiencing cycles that you know that you don't, that are draining you, that are not really helping you ascend, they're actually causing you to regress, then we need to start assessing some things, and we need to start paying attention to how you are calling these things into your experience, because everything is about magnetism. And as a woman, you really need to understand magnetism. You should understand your own magnetism, because everything that is in your life, you have magnetized it. So the things that are in your life, the problems in your life that are magnified, we need to see how you're magnetizing these things into your space. You ever heard somebody say, when you get married to someone, if there's an issue beforehand, it magnifies in the marriage? That's very much so true. When you get comfortable in a space, if something is not okay and you've been doing it for a long time, it gets 10 times worse when you don't handle up on it. So if you're not making any decisions to shift your behavior and your decision making or your beliefs, you're going to struggle quite a bit going into 2025. You're going to struggle quite a bit going into 2025. So we need to get off the hamster wheel. We need to understand and talk about anxiety, the anxiety that you're feeling as 2025 approaches. The reason why a lot of people are in a state of constant worry when it comes down to 2025 is because they're seeing all these things externally happen. And because they're seeing all these things externally happen and they're not rooted spiritually, their mind is telling them, oh my God, I'm not going to have, oh my God, I can't sustain. You're asking questions like this. Am I enough? Everything is happening. Everything is shifting. What's next for me? Are they going to be closing my job now? Will I be able, people are asking themselves who have businesses, will I be able to sustain this? Here's the thing that you have to understand. As long as you are operating from a space of alignment, you will always be able to sustain what is yours. Everything that's a part of your assignment requires your touch, okay? Requires your expansion, and requires you to basically breathe on it. But it's you that makes a decision whether or not you're actually going to take that action, instead of being afraid of what you see. A lot of people are very concerned about what is going to happen with this transition of, presidents and different things like that, and how are things going to be inflated. See, you're worried about the wrong thing. You're spending all that time focusing your mental energy on if you're going to be good enough or how you're going to do XYZ, when you really could shift that energetics, that mental energy into a high vibrational state. Like it tells you to think on things that are above in Colossians 3 and 2, and you actually can create something that can get you paid in 2025. Shoot, before 2025 even starts. My first product that I ever did years back was a ebook that I did. I wrote it in 12 hours. It was a really strong ebook about grief and helping people do the process. And I made $1,000 literally in less than 24 hours. And y'all sitting around here talking about you don't have money. You have creative and witty inventions in your very being, according to scripture, according to Proverbs 8 and 12. The problem is you're not tapped in. And because you're not tapped in, you're worried about these tariffs. And I said what I said, because you're not tapped in to the truth of who you are, and you don't have access to the power that is going to amplify the gifts that you have within you, the ones that are going to make room for you. Because you're not tapped in, you're worried about tariffs. Because you're not tapped in, you're worried about not having. Because you're not tapped in, you're concerned about how, if this is going to happen, if you lose your job. Here's the thing that people in 2024 need to be very clear on. You should have skill sets to where if your job walks in and the doors are closed, you still can go and you can get a bag. It makes no sense for you not to be in that position unless you are literally disconnected from your core and you don't really understand how to get tapped into these gifts, how to actually amplify your value, how to articulate your value so that people pay you top dollar. Okay? The reason why you feel like, or you're worried about if this is going to work or what's going to happen, is because you're out of alignment with yourself and what you're actually supposed to be doing. That's why you worry. See, because if you're operating according to what you're supposed to be doing, the game plan don't change. You may have to take a different pathway, but the game plan don't change. Okay? When you're in alignment, or let me say this, when you're in alignment with your higher self and your purpose, things are very clear. They're not always comfortable, but they're very, very clear about what your next step is going to be. And when you're out of alignment, you repel opportunities like peace, you repel freedom, you repel love, you repel all the things that you were meant to receive. And a lot of this happens because you don't know the root spiritual violations that you're violating. So one of the modalities that I have is I'm an energetic psychology practitioner. So I can tell you how emotions impact you on a cellular level, how they literally will make you sick. You being mad at your baby daddy for years will ruin your livers and ruin your liver to the point to where it will impact your menstrual cycle, and you will have problems creating literally and figuratively. This is why it tells you in scripture not to give anger a foothold, because once you give it a foothold, it chokes the life out of you. That's true tea. You can go and look these things up. Everything I give you is going to come from scripture, science, and psychology. Stress makes you sick. Anger ruins your liver. Consistent grief breaks down your heart. Okay? It breaks down your heart. I can't even explain. Until you watch somebody leave this earth from broken heart syndrome, you will really begin to understand why it tells you in Proverbs 4 and 23 to guard your heart above everything else, because from it flows life. When you see somebody young pass away from that, literally because their heart is broken, because of heartache, because of romance, because of a man. See, when you see it up close, like I've seen it up close, you get very protective of your heart. You get very clear with your boundaries. Y'all play with y'all life too much just because you want to try to have someone in your life that is not even thinking about you, that does not even care about you the way that you care. But you are exhausting yourself. You are exhausting yourself. And for what? For what? Shalom says, for what? Listen, I'm glad you didn't leave here, because that's a real thing. Let me give you 3 major emotions that literally keep you, or spiritual violations that keep you out of pocket, that keep you from magnetizing the experiences that you want. And you don't even probably realizing that you're doing it. She said, I just want love. You just want love? I'm so glad you said that. Now, let me pause before I get it. I just want love is what she said. And I want to give you I want to give you something. I want to give you a gift that I wish somebody would have given me in my 20s. Okay? Here's the thing that you need to understand about love. Love is a 2-part element. The first part of it is your responsibility. What you get from you doing what you need to do is going to be basically like sprinkles. Okay? Let me explain. Self-love is a fire element. Okay? And if you ever try to build a fire or you ever pay attention to people building a fire, they're always throwing logs in the fire. They start the fire, right? And then to feed the fire, they have to throw logs in it. So when it comes down to self-love, the first element of love, there has to be self-love first, which means that you have to continue to fuel that fire. If you really want love, because the outside love that you are speaking of is a water element, which is abundance. See, that love that you are speaking of that you believe that you want, you're going to have to set yourself on fire so that you can get it. And see, if you want love, because that is a spiritual fruit, by commandment, it tells you that you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you have to pour into yourself first before your neighbor can even see you. Because if you don't, you will continue to serve your neighbor, hoping that your neighbor is going to see you. And when your neighbor never sees you, you want to get sour and bitter about it. But here's how you don't get sour, and here's how you don't become a bitter Betty by the time you get my age, because I'm 41. Okay? So let me give you the game. You are to fuel your own fire, which is going to require you to figure out what actually fuels your fire, which means that you're going to have to ask yourself some extremely deep questions, even down to the very basics. And then you're going to pour into yourself so much to where you're going to become obsessed with pampering yourself and pouring into yourself and loving yourself. And what that is going to do, that is going to raise your fire. The more logs you put in the fire as it's trying to go down, the higher it's going to get. That blaze is going to become so alluring. Have you ever seen a fire? Have you ever seen a fire and just like really watched it? It is a alluring, magnetic thing to just stare at. So just imagine you continuing to fuel your fire, and your fire grows so big that everyone in town can't wait to just go around and look at that fire. The fire is blazing so tough and so tall. It's so beautiful. It's so magnetic. It's so alluring that it calls people to it. See, that's how fire works. See, if you want love that is in a flow, which is again a water element, if you want to attract the water, you're going to have to set yourself on fire. Okay? So set yourself on fire first, and the water will come, my love. And the water is all around you. You are made up of the water. You are made up of 70% water, 70 to 80% water. So here's the thing. You are surrounded by love. The problem is you haven't set yourself on fire to even understand, to even be able to recognize. When you set yourself on fire by fueling yourself, trust me, the water gonna come. And by the time the water come, you probably won't even really be worried about it. So fuel yourself first if you want other people to come and add to you. Okay? So you have to understand that when you say, I just want love, you have to give it to yourself first. And it can't be superficial. It can't be, I'm going to get my nails done. Absolutely not. That's why I say you have to dig deep to actually see what it is that really fuels you. So for example, for myself, what is something that fuels me? Going and getting on the swing fuels me at 41 years old. I'm a digital nomad, so I live and travel everywhere, right? So going to different places and finding a park and getting on the swing fuels my inner child. It does something for me. It puts me in such a high vibrational state. Is one of the ways I set myself on fire. And when I set myself on fire by going into these experiences, I normally end up running into someone that just says, I just love your energy. But see, I set myself on fire and they came to me. I wasn't even looking for it. I wasn't even looking for it. I was fueling myself and it came to me. People gonna always come to the fire. It's just that alluring. It's just that alluring. Okay. So set yourself on fire. You want love, set yourself on fire. And once you feel that heat, trust me, it's gonna draw in. Okay. But you got to be the line leader in your life experience. Hey, my love. in order for that to happen. But let's talk about how these spiritual violations block your magnetism as a woman, the things that you may desire and you may really, really want. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Okay. And you may just be looking at these things like they're very small. Yesterday, and here's the first one. The first one is jealousy. Yesterday, someone asked me, why is it that why do I attract jealous people? Or why do I attract people who may hate on me? Or why do I attract these type of things and XYZ, right? And I had to explain on yesterday, and I'm not going to go too heavy into it. You can catch that video on YouTube because it's up there. I put it up last night. But the biggest thing is that you have to remember there's a very fine line between love and hate. You really don't have haters. You really have lovers. You have lovers with an exalted perception of you. You're not responsible for that perception of you because that perception is coming from whatever it is that they are believing. Okay? You actually don't have a hater. You have a lover. See, people who hate you at one point in time, they really, really loved you. They really don't hate you. They really love you. It's just that their exalted perception of you has them going crazy. Who they think you are, who they believe you are, what they believe you have is what makes them step into the state of something else. Now, let me say this when it comes down to jealousy and why it's so dangerous. You should never have a jealous person around you. Hey, love. The reason why it's very dangerous for you to have a jealous person around you, because once that person eventually that person is going to submit to the spirit of envy. And the spirit of envy is how people get unalived, how people get hurt, how people get harmed, how things go extremely left. Okay. So when people talk about jealousy, you think about, okay, why? It's in my bio. You think about, well, why does a person get to this space? Well, that's because they didn't check it at the lower level. The lowest level of jealousy is to covet. And before y'all get it in these comments talking about something, yeah, because it is definitely, it tells you not to covet. But the reason why you should not covet is because you position yourself to submit to the spirit of envy. And once you submit to the spirit of envy, this is when actions start actually taking place. I don't know if y'all have ever seen, well, I saw a post, it was a couple of years ago, about a woman who was crying. She had bought these amazing plants and her plants kept dying. She didn't know what was happening. You know, she was asking her husband, like, what was going on? Baby, do you know that man was putting bleach in her plants? Because he felt like she was giving more attention to the plants than she was giving to him. So he poured bleach in plants that cost like so much. He literally bleached her plants, was secretly putting bleach in there. See, when somebody gets to the state of envy, they start taking action. See, that's when it gets dangerous. An envious person will take you out, baby. An envious person will take you out. But it starts at the level when somebody covets. Well, let's give an example of how someone may covet. A lot of y'all covet. Y'all get on, ooh, as soon as you holler, relationship goes, you're coveting. You're coveting. Because you have an amplified person. You're setting yourself up to go from, see, this is how we go from loving somebody, oh, we just love them, until we all of a sudden hate them. That's how we go from cancel culture, because you have an amplified, exalted perception of them that's not even real. And when that perception, that exalted perception of them shatters, then you want to go on the other side. Now you hate them. Now you hate them. But the issue at hand is that nobody asked you to put them on a pedestal. Nobody asked you to do that. Oh, you see this man buying this girl. Oh, I want a man to do that. Covetry. You don't know if he is knocking her head between the washer and dryer and he just bought her apology flowers. You don't know if she's putting this on the gram or on TikTok to not reveal what is really going on, to make it look like something it's not. Because you don't check yourself when you're coveting something, this is how you become a jealous person. A jealous person is a dangerous person, because that person is one step away from submitting to the spirit of envy. And the spirit of envy is what killed Abel. The spirit of envy is what got into Cain, what he submitted to, that made him strike his brother down to death. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's a little bit heavier than jealousy. Jealousy will make you start acting up a little bit. It'll make you change your routine. Okay. But baby, that envy, that envy, that's the one you need to be looking out for. I don't do jealousy. I cut coveting at the bottom. As soon as somebody, oh, I wish I could. You only want what's for you. Because I promise you, thinking that you can manage whatever it is that I'm managing, you probably can't, because what's for me is a part of my assignment and what's for you is a part of your assignment. Okay? Because it is so important for you to understand your emotional state, because being in a state of jealousy, every time you compare yourself to someone else's life, their successes, you reject your own blessings. Because what jealousy actually says is, what I have isn't enough. And that energy pushes whatever it is that you want, completely away from you. That's what that does. That blocks that. That doesn't put you in position to receive. Jealousy slightly whispers, why does she have that and I don't? See, it's the part that y'all don't say out loud. Jealousy. See, jealousy, here's the thing. You know why people can't really tell when jealousy ain't loud. See, that's the crazy part. The initial covet starts within. Okay. The jealousy rises and start playing with your mind and your emotions. And you start asking, why does she have that and I don't have it? Envy is is what starts taking action to destroy that. Okay. Every time you compare yourself to someone else's life, jealousy is not, you're blocking your blessings. Jealousy is not just an emotion. It's a block. It's a block. It's a block. It's a block. It tells the universal algorithm, which was created by God, that I don't believe in my birthright of abundance. I believe that I am in lack, which goes against John 10:10 on the other end of that verse that tells you the Messiah has come to give you life and give you life abundantly. It is an open rebuke to your birthright for you to be in a space where, like, why does she have that and I don't? Why do you want something that's not a part of your assignment? You can't manage anything that's not a part of your assignment. You're not going to be able to keep it. So being jealous of it when you have your own lane is crazy work. It's insane work, honestly. And it creates a block because the energy of being able to receive does not respond to the energy of jealous. That's not an alignment. Being jealous does not make you an energetic match to receive what it is that you truly desire. It actually positions you on the opposite end of that. That's a very dangerous vibrational state to be in. That's why I always say a jealous person is a very dangerous person, because they're a step up. They didn't check when they jealous. That means they didn't check the covenant from the beginning. The first initial, oh, I want that. Instead of, oh, that man went did this. I want this done for me. Instead of being, once that happens in your mind, you say, oh, this is so amazing. This happened for her. And I know if it happened for her, I'm seeing that it definitely can happen for me in the way that it's supposed to be for me, in the design that it's supposed to be for me. See, y'all out here asking for Sierra's prayers and saying all this other stuff. Y'all don't need to be praying the intentions of other people. You need to get clear on what you want so you can become an energetic match for that, so you can magnetize it into your reality, and therefore you magnify more love than hate or jealousy in your experience. Okay? So make sure for sure that you really start paying attention to yourself when you start at the bottom, even with coveting things, the smallest things. You know, it's another form of coveting that y'all be sleeping on. Must be nice. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Must be nice. Okay, big money. All of that coveting on the slick. Must be nice to be at home and have a husband to do XYZ. You're coveting. See, it be the small stuff that y'all don't be catching. And then you trying to figure out how you got somebody, how you didn't realize that you had somebody with you on your team that knocked your dude down. Now you're trying to figure out how you had somebody on your team who trying to lay with whoever you with, because you're not paying attention to the small things. How do we deal with a coveting partner? I couldn't tell you because I don't. I had one. I had one in my life, and I've never had another one. I've never had another one. Because let me tell you, it get real interesting with men who are jealous of women. Okay, that's what I can tell you. I don't know if this is a marriage, but if this is a marriage, you really need to. Um, I don't know what your spirituality is like, but I would start asking questions to the one that created you. If this is just someone that you are with, I stand by a jealous person is a dangerous person, and it starts at coveting. And if you can't check the coveting, the jealousy gonna get out of hand, and the envy gonna show up in the physical form. Yeah, baby, watch that. Watch that. And the reason why I tell you to watch that, baby, because ain't nothing like a mean man. Ain't nothing like a mad scoring man. Ain't nothing like a mean scoring man. They decide that you want to part ways. I'm telling you, it just be covered with that. Be covered with that. That's a different kind of element. Okay? It's a very different kind of element. Be very careful with that. But yeah, no. Well, I don't do them. And I don't do them so much. Like I said, everybody be cracking jokes. Like women will say, I'll pop the balloon at a man that says big money. So y'all popping the balloon at the man saying big money because you're thinking he wants your money. I'm popping the balloon at big money because I see you coveting. Because a man that has his own, or a man who is confident enough to have his own, would never comment on my bag, would never be concerned about my bag, wouldn't even ask me about my bag. He'd be so focused on his own bag. So the fact that you asking about my bag, let me know you coveting. And coveting is only one lower step from jealousy. And the worst thing I want is a man who envies next to me. Absolutely not. So let me go and cut this short now. It's been interesting. Enjoy your evening. We ain't having no more conversation after that. But comment under a picture of mine, a post under mine and say big money. I promise you I'm gonna block you. And it ain't because I feel like you're trying to be in my pockets, but because I feel like you're a coveter. Because that's too much like, must be nice. Y'all got to start watching how people try to come into your space and do small things to test you, to steal your joy. I swear it says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But see, here's the thing. Don't become your own enemy by allowing the wrong type of people in your house. Let's go ahead and go to this second energy. The second spiritual violation that block your magnetism. So jealousy is one. Okay. Number two. All right. Number two is greed. And greed ain't even what y'all think. You know, some people like, oh, the 1%, people have money, they just want more money. Da, 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 da. Y'all be thinking greed, y'all be focusing on people who have bags or whatever the case may be. But greed, let's talk about it for real. Greed is when you're driven by scarcity, you're driven by lack. See, greed is what a robber has in his mind when he comes to rob you, because I need to rob you out of, because I'm coming from a space of lack. So I'm going to take from you. Okay? I got to grab, I got to chase, I got to hustle. Hustle by definition means to swindle. To swindle means to steal. The hustle steals your time, your energy, and your attention, and pays you cheap money, making you think you actually doing something. While you think you're working overtime, your body is actually working overtime, which means that you're losing time on your life, because your quality of life is being impacted because of the fact that you continue to overwork yourself into a grave. And the Most High didn't even tell you to do that. Society told you to do that. Society told you to do that. Greed. When you are driven by scarcity, I got to get this money by tomorrow. When you think you have to grab, chase, or force success, you are closing yourself off from the portal of abundance, which literally is your birthright. It's only alignment that brings flow. Greed is going to create resistance. You ever meet somebody or you hear people say, I can't never get ahead. I don't know what's going on myself. I can never get ahead. It's this and this, and I got to do this, and I do this, and I do this. They got every scam running, but they never seem to get ahead. Ooh, don't they love saying time and a half? Ooh, don't they love saying time and a half? All while that corporation is cutting your time in half, and they know it too, and paying you a cheap salary to tax on your soul so they can meet their goals because you signed a soul contract to work with them. Oh, what you thought you signed? What you thought you signed when you went to HR? Didn't you make a commitment to spend your mental energy, your emotional energy, and your willpower executing their goals? Isn't your soul made up of your mindset, your heart set, and your willpower? You're allowing them to tax on your soul so you can meet their goals. And then some of y'all got the nerve to do it for 20 and 30 years. That's crazy work. Just for you to end up leaving and have not achieved any of your goals, to have missed the mark for yourself is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to let these folks tax on your soul like that. Time and a half. They cutting your time in half. They cutting your time in half. Because they understand how it goes. By the time you leave them, you're gonna be too sick to do anything. So you leave one corporate system to go into the sick system. And big pharma, that's big business, baby. That's big business, baby. You being sick and stressed. Like I said, one day I'm gonna have a real conversation about the difference between mental health and the mental health and mental illnesses, and how they monopolize and monetize on the mental health industry to play on your top to make you more anxious so you can buy into their systems. Yeah, all because they know you can't control your thoughts. All because they know that you don't understand your own energetics. Yeah. Yeah, they taxing on your soul real good. Because they know you greedy. You do anything for the money. You do anything for the change. You do anything for the cheddar because you don't understand that you are made up of money. You don't understand that you're the real currency. You don't understand that you are time, energy, attention, and money. Because if you realize that, you would know how easy it is for you to make money. But because you don't realize that, you worship money. And it tells you in scripture, for the love of money is the root of all evil. You love money so much that you'll kill yourself for it. You literally run yourself into the ground to chase something that you literally are made of. Money is itself. The paper $100 bill that you have in your pocket, the one that men are out here killing themselves for, people out here robbing people for, $100 bill. That $100 bill is nothing but 75% cotton, 25% linen. There's no gold backing. The gold standard has been gone since the 70s, I believe, the early 70s, maybe late 60s. So that piece of paper only has the value that it says that the country says it has. What y'all gonna do when, with all them $100 bills and all that paper, when the dollar go digital? What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? You worshiping something when you are the real value. That money has no value. You are the one with value. If you and everyone who worked at your corporation decided not to go to work, you know how much money that company gonna lose? You know how they're gonna be calling y'all on the phone? Y'all know they're gonna be trying to figure out what they need to do to get y'all back, because you are the value, because you are the one. They need to tax your soul to meet their goals. Because they can't tax their own. They need you for that. They need you for that. Let me see, I'm going and I'm reading. Baby, let me tell you how I got. I don't think I've ever told this story. I don't play. When I decided I was done with corporate America, when I realized that what they scam was, when the Most High let me really see and let me know I was going to be doing the work I was going to be doing, I developed a whole plan. See, the problem, y'all need to put a date on when you're leaving. Y'all too scared. I put a date on when I was leaving. The job that I was working at the time, I was working in state government, and I was working in CPS. And I was seeing severe child abuse at high levels and all these things, even down to unaliving. Okay, they didn't care about us. They didn't care about any of us. Which, truthfully, they don't. This world, this country doesn't care about teachers. It doesn't care about social workers. They do not care about the people who actually are hitting the ground running. They don't care nothing about us. Okay. When I realized how much they really didn't care, when I started getting really sick and exhausted because my best friend had passed away, um, when that happened, I basically had like a really bad breakdown in so many ways, because I've always been the strong person. So when that happened, it was very shocking. It was out the blue. And my life, of what I thought my life was tied into her, because I felt like our destinies were tied together. We had a nonprofit organization. I was in the 5th year of that job. My goal was to quit in the 5th year of that job and to go full-fledged in that nonprofit. And guess what? 3 months before we were supposed to leave, she checked out of Earth. So imagine my anxiety, imagine my grief, imagine all of these things that I'm feeling. And 2 weeks later, I think I can go back to work because I think I'm a soldier girl. Now, I used to be very masculine and super strong and all of this. So I'm just thinking, okay, people die. I can do this. Until I had an anxiety attack while driving, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I had to literally drive to where she's buried. And I'm not even one of those type of people that has to do that. So when I knew that that was the case, I had already been going through EAP at the job. So at that time, I ended up telling them, hey, I need this. So I was going to my therapist and doing this. I was 1 point away from being clinically depressed, and they took me off work for 6 months. I had never been like that in my life. I was 33 when she died. I was seeing a psychiatrist. I was seeing a grief counselor at the time. And I was deeply, deeply, deeply recommitting my relationship to the Most High and getting very rooted in that. Okay. So when I decided I was going to leave and I realized this company didn't care about me, I had gave it some time. I used all my PTO time, all my sick time, all my leave time, everything. And I knew I was going to leave them. So when I finally went back, I said, it's 6 months I'm staying. I'm going to collect some time and some money for 6 months. And after that, I'm going full fledged in what the Most High told me to do. If you're going to let them tax on your soul to meet their goals, you need to be using them and putting a time limit on that. Because if you allow corporations and companies to tax on your soul for long periods of time, you will feel indebted. You will stay in those spaces. And it is almost like you have Stockholm syndrome, which means you are in love with your abuser, because the corporate system does not care about you. And when I realized they didn't care about me, baby, I clocked their time. I had a cool my nurse practitioner was like, okay, so how we feeling? We want to leave again? Yep, because when I got back, they was giving me problems. I said, yep, I want to leave again. I left for another 6 months, used up all that time, moved to a whole nother city. See, I'm just telling you what it is, what I did. Moved to a whole nother city on them. And on the very last day when my time ran out, and they sent me an email saying, if you don't return to work, that we're going to have to terminate you. That is when I sent in my notice. Thank you, but no thank you. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to learn how to use them and stop letting them use you. Start using them. They are taxing on your soul. What are you getting from that? What are you getting for that? Honestly, what are you getting? Okay. So don't be out here just trying to go to work. Don't try to chase it from a place of like, I need to go and do this. Do what's in alignment. It's less struggle there. It's way less struggle when you're doing things in alignment. I'm going to tell you the truth. The struggle about doing things from a place of alignment is actually getting in alignment and believing. That's the hardest part. Having the confidence to execute what you've been told by the one that created you. That's the hardest part. No lie. That's the hardest part. Seriously. Like, that's the hardest part, doing that work. Okay. And let me say this too, because we're talking about greed. Greed doesn't always look like wanting too much. It looks like scarcity. It looks like a lack mindset. It looks like the energy of chasing, forcing, grabbing things out of fear, okay, that they're going to slip away from you. See, there's a big difference between money hoarders and people who actually save money. A lot of y'all are hoarders because y'all are afraid of going back to a place of poverty because maybe you grew up in poverty, okay? Y'all, I'm going to come to these questions towards the end because I'm almost done. So hold them for me. So it could be coming from that space. People who are hoarders keep a certain amount of money in their account. They won't go over it. Is this and is that. But they always seem to have something that snatches the money from them, like an incident. Something always seems to happen to where they can't keep that money in the account. But they've made it in their mind that this is what needs to be in their account, and they can't seem to go above that. See, you don't realize how you block yourself. Don't say you want to make $10,000 a month in your business, and then you only make $10,000 a month, and you realize once you start paying all this stuff and doing all this stuff, you really don't have a lot left over. Okay? So we have to really start paying attention to that because that's very important and very, very vital. Greed creates resistance because it's rooted in the belief that there's never enough. People rob people because they feel like they don't have enough. People steal and do all kind of conniving things and compromise their ethics for money because they believe that they can't get it. They believe that there's not enough. True alignment shifts you into a state of abundance, which is plentifulness, which is you receiving. You hear all the time people say you don't chase, you attract. You know what I'm saying? That's very true. But let me also tell you, you don't hoard. You don't hold things. You allow things to flow. You can't get nothing if your hand is closed tightly like this. Okay? It's not going to work. The next energy outside of jealousy and greed, sloth. Now I know a lot of people think sloth is lazy. That ain't what that means. That is not what that means. To be a sloth means to not take action. If you go and you look at the definition of it, it's you not taking action. When you don't move on things that you know are meant for you. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I want you to see and assess if you've been a sloth this year. when it comes down to things you're supposed to do. When you don't move on things that you know that are meant for you, you are telling the one that created you, I'm not ready. And the fear of failure keeps you stuck in cycles of procrastination and missed opportunities. You always talking about how nobody's coming to see about you, but that's because you operate from the energy of a sloth. And sloth energy does not equal sustainable success. You can't pick and choose when you want to do certain things. Sloth is not laziness. That's not what that is. It's fear. It's the inaction that comes from doubting your own ability to succeed. Get into it. It's procrastinating on what you know is meant for you, but you're actually afraid that it's not going to work. And what's crazy to me is that y'all will carry that belief, but then if somebody came to you that was so-called rich and they had you sign a contract saying, if you meet me here at the post office at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow in Japan, I'm going to give you $5 million. I bet your bottom dollar when you sign that contract, you're going to find that money to fly to Japan to be at a post office at 4:30 in the morning, even though you know the post office ain't open. There we go. My mic died, y'all. What's the last thing y'all heard me say? Why? There we go. My mic died, y'all. What's the last thing y'all heard me say? Why? There we go. What's the last thing y'all heard me say? Because my mic went out. The post office. Okay. So, if they tell you to be at the post office at 4:30 in the morning, right? In Japan, and you signed a contract with a rich person, right? You're going to find the money to go and be in Japan. Even though you know the post office is not open at 4:30 in the morning, even though you know that, or anyone knows that's in business, if there's no contract that you can't get out of, if there's a contract that you have, all you need is an excellent lawyer who is going to scan that contract for a small loophole. So literally you could fly over there to Japan, have nobody over there, but you got so much faith in that contract you signed that you didn't procrastinate to get your butt on a plane to get over there to Japan, even though you ain't had that money. See how that worked? You ain't got a procrastination issue. You got a belief issue. That's your truth. You don't have a procrastination issue. You got a belief issue. Because if I told you I was going to give you 1,000 and meet me outside, you're going to be outside. So you don't have a procrastination issue. Your issue is belief. And your issue in that area of belief is causing you to operate from a space of slothness, which is blocking your ability to manifest your reality. Okay? This is why you should really anchor yourself. And I tend to anchor myself using Matthew 6:33, which is seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. I always ask. Because in my experience, me asking for things, I receive them. Whether I'm dealing with the Most High or I'm dealing with human beings. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Okay? When you realign yourself spiritually, everything will flow to you. Everything will flow to you. Matthew 6:33. Okay? Everything flows to you. I want you to really think about, imagine yourself waking up in 2025 with complete clarity, knowing what's meant for you. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, and moving towards that with ease. Picture your emotional energy being grounded, your mind being focused enough, and your actions being completely aligned with the goals that you really have for yourself. Thank you, my love. I remember a time when one of my clients came to me and she was like extremely stuck in cycles of burnout. She was married. I'm still married. She was scared about being a mom. She was scared about a lot of stuff because of different things that she needed to work through energetically. So after about 30 days,
We not only supported her from going from her energy being drained to elevating and pouring more into her, but her income increased. And she ended up getting the peace that she had been craving. And now she is a mommy. And she's very happy being a mommy. And I'm very happy watching her mommy because we've had so many conversations about her being scared to mommy. Okay, so she did a lot of work and not only gave her the clarity and the peace that she needed, but she ended up making more money. Women who come to work with me get three results. Okay, women that come to work with me either master their emotions or they get all three. They make more money or they end up getting healthier. Like I said, I'm not a weight loss coach, but women who've come to work with me have lost 40, 50, 60 pounds, and I've lost almost 100 myself. But this has come from understanding my rhythm, my cycle, being in sync with my cycle, and I teach this. I teach my clients how to create income revenue generating activities along with the highest peaks of your cycle. Okay? How to manage your emotional highs and lows by anticipating what happens in the phases of your cycle, what it is that you need to actually be eating. Okay? All of these things are very vital in the process of getting yourself together. Okay? So I want you to really think about this. And I'm going to give a little bit, can it really be fixed in 30 days? Honestly asking. I'm glad you asked that question. Hold that for me because I got you. Okay? When you align spiritually, okay, when you go from jealousy to gratitude, you will see the blessings in your own life and you'll attract more. When you turn greed into flow, you'll stop chasing and you'll start actually receiving with ease. When you turn fear into clarity, okay, you begin taking bold, aligned action and magnetizing the results that you actually desire for your life. 2024 does not need to repeat itself in 2025, okay? Every day you stay stuck in these patterns, you delay the life that you actually could be living. What you want next is literally waiting on you. So I have two things that can support you, okay? Number one, I'm having a masterclass. It's happening on New Year's Eve. I haven't put the information out there, but it's going to be on YouTube. So click the link in my bio and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's number one. If you want to get started and get the depth process of understanding your menstrual cycle so you can align with it, so you can get emotional control and regulation of self, if you want to learn how to use the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the ovary axis so that you can make more money, because I teach the process of how to align your income generating activities so that you make more money with the highest peaks of your cycle. If you want to learn how to use your mood, okay, use money and movement as tools of sustainable success, then the magnetism reset class is the one that's going to support you. That's going to teach you how to master your rhythm in 30 days. The more you know yourself and you understand your dynamic, the easier it is for you to maneuver, the easier it is for you to attract, the easier it is for you to manifest the things that you truly desire. That class is $150, y'all. This lash is bothering me. Ooh, underneath. Okay, I got it. The class is $150. All my products you can get with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. The masterclass that's happening on the 31st is going to be a free masterclass. Like I said, it will be happening on YouTube. So yeah, click the link in the bio if you really want to hit the reset button on your magnetism, okay? When it comes down to your emotions, when it comes down to your money, when it comes down to your health. Because I'm going to tell you something. That's going to be the key themes in 2025. Your money, your mood, your being able to control your emotional responses and being emotionally regulated, money, and health. They have closed a whole bunch of hospitals in the United States. See, y'all not paying attention. They are denying people from getting health procedures that people have been having for a long period of time. There was a woman that came on here and talked about how her fibroid surgery was denied by insurance companies. This place is making you sick. Society will make you sick and then try to sell you a solution and then turn around and tell you they can't fix the problem that they created. If you don't do nothing else as a woman, you better get your mood, your money, and your body together. Because I am telling you, you do not want to be sick and stressed in a society that's already all over the place. That's already crazy. Y'all better start paying attention to what is happening. Nobody is going to take care of you like you. Nobody cares about you like you need to be caring about you. So you need to take the first step by taking care of yourself. Do what you need to do to improve your emotions. Y'all need to stop with all this toxic foolishness that y'all are out here doing. Toxic relationships are bad for your health, and healthy relationships build wealth. That's what you better remember. Toxic relationships are bad for your health. Y'all be on here talking about how these people throwing your pH off. That ain't the only thing that can happen. Keep on. Toxic relationships are bad for your health. Healthy relationships build wealth. Point blank, period, at the end. You either going to have bad health or you're going to choose wealth with your relationships. And I'm not just talking about romantic. I'm talking about these friendships that y'all need to, that have expired, that y'all don't want to let go of. If you want to magnetize a new reality into your space, you're going to have to hit the reset button. And when you hit reset, everything is not coming back with you. And now you need to be okay with that, because feminine women should be able to receive, release, and reject. When you have to release something, you have to know that there is something that you're going to receive once you release it. See, the people who understand that principle are the people who always are in a flow of money. When you understand that money is a flow, much like how I said, speaking to the other young lady, it's a flow, it's a water element. This is exactly why you go to the bank, riverbank. This is exactly why there's streams of income. See, y'all really need to start paying attention that there's power of life and death in the tongue. You really need to understand that your words have power, and you need to start investigating the words that you are speaking, you are seeing, so that you know that you are magnetizing the right type of things into your space. Money is everywhere. It's a water element. There's a flow of it. There's a flow of it. And if you are not experiencing any, that's because you are in a lower level room and you need to rise up. You are in a lower vibrational state. Low, and money ain't coming down to a low vibrational state. I told you money only locks in. And I do mean locks in. Money only locks in with alignment, high vibrational states, and value. That's how you consistently see money. The reason why a lot of women are not seeing the type of money that they really want, or people aren't seeing the type of money they want, is because you can't get money to lock in. Your vibrational state ain't right. What you're trying to do ain't in alignment with what's happening. And you can't articulate the value enough to make it attractive enough to where money wants to actually be in that space with you. You have to start looking at things for what they are. Everything in your life is a result of your magnetism. So a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Where is your heart? In your subconscious mind. The truth of your subconscious mind is what you are magnetizing into your reality. What you entertain confirms the story in your subconscious mind. Once you confirm that story, whatever is really happening magnifies. This is how we find out your business. As much as you try to cover it up, whatever you magnetize gonna magnify. I don't care what you think you're doing. Whatever you magnetize into your space, good or bad, that is going to magnify, because that is literally what happens. Okay, what questions do you guys have for me? Make sure you click the link in the bio to be able to get access to the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. Like I said, it's $150. You can get a recliner, firm, and afterpay. The masterclass is extremely powerful, and it's a push start button for those who don't want to wait until January 1st. Because why y'all would want to wait until January 1st is really crazy to me, to start on your goals. Y'all ain't seen enough crazy stuff that's happening in the world today. Why would you want to wait any longer than to put yourself in a better position? Because the work was really due yesterday, some yesterdays ago. This work was been supposed to get started. What I am telling you is that the portal is closing. Now I'm gonna talk spiritual. The portal of this aspect of this year is closing, and if you don't close out this time cycle right, by having a different cause, so you have a different effect, so you can start a different pattern, which could put you in a better season, which could create a brand new cycle for yourself. If you don't do it now, you're going to have some trouble trying to do it in 2025, because there's too many things that are going to be coming your way that you're not going to be able to focus. So if you don't fine tune the skill of focus right now, because focus is a skill set, are you easily distracted, or just have you not focused in a long time? So you probably have not had to focus since you learned your ABCs. You know why you still know your ABCs? Because repetition is the language of the subconscious mind. It was drilled in your mind. You had to focus in. You had to zone in on it. When is the last time you truly focused? Do you really have ADHD, or just are you easily distracted because you can't fine tune the skill of focus? These are the things you really need to start investigating with yourself before you immediately start labeling yourself. Because people are looking for identification. People who don't know who they are always looking to be identified by a title. Oh, I'm anxious attachment style. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. Oh, you're putting yourself under a deeper spell. That is what you're doing. See, when you're quick to try to label yourself something, you really need to think about that. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Oh, I'm this. Are you really anxious attachment style, or do you naturally just sit in fear? And that's been your reality. And you haven't been taught the proper tools to learn how to transmute that energy from that energy level of fear up into courage, which is the first high vibrational state. Thank you, my love. Hey, thank you, April. Have you not transmuted up? Is that like, because really, what is it? We love to, people who don't know who they are always look for titles and look to be identified by other people. Identify yourself. Most importantly, you already have been identified. You are a creation of the Creator. You are a high level creation of the Creator. You literally have the Most High's godlike nature, godlike character, and you literally have your own slice of the pie known as dominion. And the reason why you don't have access is because you just won't tap in. You won't stand up. You won't come up off the vibrational state of fear because you're scared about what you're going to lose. When you don't realize that what you have on that vibrational state of fear is actually what's holding you back. It's what's holding you down. And that's why you keep magnetizing people into your space. You know why you feel like you have anxious attachment style? Because you sit on the frequency of fear. And when you sit on the frequency of fear, you can only meet other people in the frequency of fear. And what do two scary people equal? A damn nightmare. Two scary people together, that's a nightmare. Now you're wondering why you're scared. You wonder why you're anxious all the time. You're sitting in a space of where they reside. You're sitting where the anxious reside. Because you refuse to come up. Because coming up requires you to make a decision. And making a decision means you're going to lose something. But guess what? If you want to ascend, if you want to grow, if you really want to maneuver in 2025, a part of you going to have to die. So when I say set yourself on fire, some of y'all need to look at who you've been in 2025 and you need to set her on fire. You need to burn her to the ground, to ashes, and you need to rise up as something else and someone else. Because if y'all don't close these cycles before 12/31, 2024, 11:59, you're going to be locked into something you really don't want going into 2025. Y'all better wake up. You better hit the reset button on your magnetism. You better hit the reset button on your magnetism. I don't know why y'all waiting until January 1st. I'm going to start on the 1st because I could do this and I'm going to do that. Y'all so funny. Y'all so funny. Why wait to quantum jump supposedly on the 1st when you can start right now? Baby, me and my clients, we already in 2025. What you mean? Come on, you better speak on it. 2025 is the year of completion, whether good or bad. An end is coming. You better know it. It's an end to the systems. It's an end to your thought processes. It's an end to all these things. And why is it a year of completion? Because it's a year of 9. And what does that mean to be in a year of 9 when it comes down to scripturally? Ain't that 9 months for you to deliver that baby? Ain't it 9 spiritual fruits? The 9th hour, don't that sound real familiar? That means 9 means finality. It means judgment. It means completeness. So y'all, and the number 8 means new beginnings. So you literally got time to still start a new beginning in the year of 8. But once you enter into 9, don't come looking for me. Don't come looking for me for the things that I'm teaching you now, because what I'm going to be talking about in 2025 is talking strictly the magnetic muse energy. I told y'all this year it was going to be a great divide. I told y'all last December in 2023 it was going to be a great divide, women. Mastery and mediocre. I talked about that on that live yesterday. I really went deep. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. What I'm telling you for 2025 is going to be all about magnetism. It's all going to be about the magnetism of what is in your mind. And if you are an overthinker, if you are an overanalyzer, if you can't control your thoughts, if you can't regulate your emotions, you're going to be in big trouble. Big trouble in 2025. Because imagine trying to get your life together when the entire world is on fire. Huh? Imagine trying to learn how to center when everything else around, when the village is on fire. You should already know how to go within. See, a lot of people are going to be in trouble. You better close them time cycles out. How do I close out those time cycles? Click the link in the bio and get the magnetism reset and hit the button. And make sure that you in the masterclass that I'm having on the 31st. Period. So if you're wanting to shift and you're wanting to really do this work, you're going to have to hit the reset button. Because what you've been doing, because y'all not paying attention to how society hitting the reset button? Y'all think it's a coincidence that all this stuff is being talked about, Ripple and XRP and BRICS and all that? Y'all have been paying attention for the last 2 years? See, I was telling people about BRICS when nobody was talking about it. And the people who've been riding with me on live already know. See, I've been putting y'all on game. I'm telling you, 2025 is going to be the reality of the completeness of what you are magnetizing into your space. Better make sure you whole. Y'all out here looking for somebody to make y'all whole. You better make sure you whole going into 2025. That's what you better know. I implore you to go look that up. It's BRICS. I don't want to get banned. That's one of those conversations I have in my private community. Because TikTok will get me. Okay? So, better start paying attention to, better know what ledgers are. Better know what blockchain is. See? Better know what digital currency is. I always try to warn y'all and tell y'all ahead of time. And I'm telling you, if you don't close out this cycle before 12/31, you're going to be in trouble. Better figure out how you're going to hit the reset button. Society has hit a reset button. All the structures and the systems are crumbling down to the ground. Are y'all not paying attention? Everything you know is about to change and shift even further. And if you are not prepared by not understanding your natural magnetism, how you magnetically influence other people, if you don't understand what position and what lane you're in, because guess what? The future belongs to the observers, the creatives, and the innovators, baby. And if you don't get in line, you're going to get left behind. And let me help y'all out for my millennials with the degrees, because I'm degreed up too. Y'all gonna be degreed working in factories if you don't get in alignment with your true skill sets that you have and drop this elitist attitude that you think you better. Because let me tell you something. Another great divide is happening. It's gonna be the have and the have-nots. And there's gonna be a lot of have-nots that have degrees. So you better release that elitist attitude that you think that you have. You better watch your step. You better stop thinking you too good. You better really start developing skill sets. They tricked us. I know. We were upset. They tricked us and made us go into debt and get these degrees, and a lot of them we can't use. But you better figure out what your creative and witty inventions are according to Proverbs 8 and 12. See, and that requires you to get spiritually rooted, and that's where I come in. Because as much as you may not think this is important, let me tell you who this is important to. You know who my clients are? Your doctors. Your doctors that's burnt out, they're stressed out, they come see me. Your nurses, your nurse practitioners, oh, they burn out, yeah, they come see me, and we get the energetics right. Your social workers, your therapists, oh yeah, they come see me, and we get this energetics right. Okay? Your attorneys, yeah, they come see me and we get this work. So these women are high level. These are all high level professional women. Your project managers, your CEOs, they come to work with me. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. The energetics don't lie. That's what you got to understand. Because what I'm going to teach you is I'm going to teach you spiritual grounding so that you actually are extremely secure, and I guide you back to yourself. Because as a woman, you should be spiritually, biologically, and psychologically balanced if you want to thrive in this society. If you're not thriving, one of those are off. Women who have hormonal issues, you're biologically imbalanced. This is why things are all over the place. You're not even a moody woman. You're not a moody woman. The truth is, you're not in alignment with the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle. They didn't teach you that in school. Corporate used that against you. See, it's one thing about it. Men in corporate know your energy cycles and women don't know it. That's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy work. We really need to take real responsibility for who you are and who you are becoming. And the women that are going to be working with me in 2025 are going to be the women who are going to be embodying muse energy. And what is a muse? A muse is a source of inspiration. See, and when you inspire, you can influence. And when you can influence, you can create impact. And when you create high level impact, you attract income. And this is how I support my clients in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to multi 6 figures. How I built a 6 figure business plus from the ground myself without hustling. We don't hustle. We get in alignment to receive. We catch bags. We catch bags over here. We don't chase them. It's a bit much. Okay? Drop your questions. That's all I have. Drop your questions, drop your questions, drop your questions. The link is in the bio for the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. You can get it for $150. You get that. You get the PDF, which is absolutely amazing to be able to walk you through it. So, yeah. Drop your questions. Let me answer your questions. Let me try to see if I can run through these comments. They were coming in kind of quick, so sorry if I miss you. I'm not ignoring you, okay? Let's see. Okay, y'all been talking, child. I don't teach digital currency. I have amazing men in my community who put me on game, and I put the women in my circle who are interested in those things on game as well. That's how I knew about XRP and all those things before it pays to raise your vibration and be in spaces where people want to support you without even having to sleep with you. You understand what I'm saying? When you get into certain spaces and you raise your vibration, you attract people who come into your space who want to pour into you, who don't want to sleep with you. They want to actually see you win. I'm surrounded in community with men who actually want to see me win, and they ain't knocking me down. They see my value. See, and that's the thing. It's important to have men in those spaces, because sometimes men can enter rooms that I can't go into. So I may not be able to get into the room, but I'm going to get the information from the room. And any man that I deal with is for an even date. Understand there has to be some form of investment towards my future. What can you teach me? How can you elevate me? Because coming to a woman like me means that you understand the value that I already have, and you recognize my value, which means you probably was watching me already. So since we've already established that I have articulated my value with my essence, what is it and what type of value are you going to add to me as of why we should connect? See, I don't play that. We can't even be cool if there is no, because I am a sower. I ain't gonna say I'm a giver, because givers don't know their limits a lot of times. I'm a sower. So when I see good ground, I sow in good ground. You understand what I'm saying? But the law of reciprocity works over here. Okay? So I can't put some pokes in your arsenal, guys. Okay? Raise your vibration and get in community. Trust me. I originally asked you the course, will it help in 30 days? Yes. So the Magnetism Reset Masterclass will support you in 30 days, in short 30 days, because what you're going to learn is you're going to learn the tools to control your emotion, to be aware of your emotional highs and lows so you can remain in emotional control. You're also going to learn how to align your income, revenue generating activities with your highest peaks of your menstrual cycle. And then you're also going to learn how to be able to use this in the form of health as well. So yes, if you do the work, you're going to see a result in 30 days. If you give it the 30 days, you're going to see a result, whether it be you becoming a better master of your emotions, you making more money, or you even making strides towards your health and possibly losing weight. So yes, everything that I offer, it works if you work. I've had women come in and buy things and immediately hit the ground running, and boom, she gets results in 30 to 45 days. I've had women to buy courses and not open it until 3 months later, and then sending me an email saying, hey, I bought this course from you and this is the result I got 3 months later. Consistency breeds results. So if you consistently do nothing, you get nothing. But if you consistently follow what I'm telling you, you gonna get a result. You gonna get a result. Do I recommend water fasting for 21 days? I don't know. You would have to seek yourself, because if we're talking water for 21 days, that means we're speaking of putting yourself in a constant state of flow. What does what spiritually is that aligned with you? What is the Most High saying to you in regard to that? Okay, what is that actually going to look like? What is your objective? You don't have to tell me your objective, but I need you to be very clear of that. What is your objective with the water? What is this representing? What is this? All those things you need to be very clear on. Okay, so I'm not going to say I recommend it or don't recommend it. It's about if it really aligns with you. And the first thing you need to check with spiritually, does it align? If it aligns spiritually, then get yourself ready mentally. Then emotionally, make some decisions, and then boom, physically implement it in place. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What other questions? Exchange. Yep. Yeah. Women love to say that they're givers. The women who say that they're givers, I'm such a giver. Those are women who don't have boundaries, and those women normally struggle to receive because they're always giving. But if you change your mindset from a giver to a sower, you'll be a little bit more wiser about your investments of your time, your energy, your attention, your money, and your beauty. Because I think what women don't understand too is that the longer you give something your time, your energy, your attention that's draining you, it drains your beauty. That's why some women leave relationships and they look dead. Your skin start changing a different color. Like the life is literally leaving your body. Like it's really not a joke and not a game. That's why I always say it's very important for you to plant roots. And when I say plant roots, I'm talking about marriage. We're talking about long-term things. If you're going to make a decision to plant roots, you need to make sure that you're in a garden that's actually flourishing. I'm gonna need you to be like take a tip from the Proverbs 31 woman and scan the land first before you make a decision to come into agreement to buy that land. Okay? Because some of us go into scenarios being in love, and then when it's time for you to become a parent, and when it's time for all these different shifts and changes, now you realize you was never in a garden, you was in a wilderness. But you've been in a wilderness the whole time. You just weren't paying attention. You just happen to be outside. Because you don't be going outside, you just happen to be outside, and now you realize outside is a wilderness, and now you don't want it no more. This is what welcome to not having any standards. That's what that is, okay? Baby, I went through menopause. You still have a hormonal cycle. Tasha, I love your community. I'm so glad you're there. I love the Sacred Feminine League. I really, really do. I'm sad about it ending, but I'm super excited about the Magnetic Muse starting January the 15th, because if you love the Sacred Feminine League, baby, the Magnetic Muse is going to be chef's kiss. Do you hear me? Chef's kiss. Let's see. Hey, my love. You're welcome. All praise to the Most High. Okay, you said to watch it. You can go on Google and look that up. Her digital bags. Go on Google and just type that in. And you're going to get all the information you're going to get. Baby, I can't get blocked by the talk now. I ain't trying to get blocked. But talking too much on this app. Because the feds be watching. More than y'all know. I just learned boundaries, and I'm so thankful. Well, praise the Most High. Can you tell where to find the alliance? You can look it up on Google. I can't give you no nothing on here. BRICS, and you'll find anything. My community ends at the end of this month. It ends at the end, so that we can start prepping, because some women are transitioning from the Sacred Feminine League to the Magnetic Muse. I joined a couple of days ago, and I've already made one energetic. Yes! Come on, let me screenshot that. Come on. We love it. We love it. Please email me and tell me about it. Please, because I want to know. You know, that's the tea I like. The results. Women winning. Don't call me with nobody business. Call me with a win. Everybody know this about me, too. My friends will tell you, don't call me with no drama. Because if you call me with some gossip, the first thing I'm come out of my mouth is, did you tell them? Because see, as feminine as I am, I'm very firm and very straightforward. I ain't gonna play with you. So if I got something to tell you, I'm gonna tell you directly. I'm very fiery in that sense. Cause yeah, why you telling me and you ain't tell them? So that is what I love to hear. I love to hear wins. I love it. So please, how can I join the group again? So actually, how do you join the Magnetic Muse? So let me tell you, the Magnetic Muse is a 4-figure investment. Let me first say that. For 3 months in the Magnetic Muse is $2,500. You have to pay a $500 deposit to start, and that's when you have your one-on-one session with me, and then we're going to start on the 15th where we're in a community, a very close community, okay? So that's the first thing that has to happen. So you have to pay that deposit. We have to have a one-on-one. If I feel like during that one-on-one you're not ready, I'm going to give you your money back. Now, I'm going to give you a solution, and I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what, you know what I'm saying, I feel like you'd be better to come back here. And if you feel like you can do this or time frame, I can hold your deposit if you want, so you can come back, or I can go ahead and refund it to you, and you come back when you're really ready. I'm not gonna just take your bag, because here's why I'm not gonna just, because the Most High paid me. You don't pay me. You may be a vessel of which is coming through, but I'm not depending on your money. I'm depending on the Most High, and I only want women who are in the Magnetic Muse to be women who are in alignment with the Magnetic Muse and what it actually stands for, because that community is extremely powerful. Any community I build is powerful. I've built 4 communities since I've been in business. The first one was a self-care sequence solution. The second one was I think I forgot the second one, the leading with lipstick. The third one was the very introverted and paid membership. And then the most recent one is the Sacred Feminine League. Well, I do community extremely well. So when it comes down to the Magnetic Muse, this is for women who literally want to magnetize and become energetic matches for what they really want. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care if it's money. I don't care if it's more experiences. I am gifted in the area of supporting women in manifesting and magnetizing the reality that they want. And I've done that for myself several times. So I support. So if you want the Magnetic Muse and you want that information, DM me the word Muse, and I will send, and your email, and I will send you information on that, okay? There's a time limit of when you can come in and when enrollment is going to be cut off, okay? $500 deposit. We're going to have our meeting. We're going to go through everything and what it is that you want. We're going to build out your entire embodiment plan, and we're going to get you in community, and you're going to get supported with other women who think like you. You're going to be in community with women you're going to be matched with. You're not just going through this journey by yourself. So we're all taking this journey to magnetize what it is that we want for 2025. And I don't know about y'all, I got big ones. The Lord said the same. Okay. So let's see. And we only have like one more week in the Sacred Feminine League. So it'd be, you can get now, to me it'd be pointless, but we only have one more week in the Sacred Feminine League. What you can do is that if you get the course today for $150, what I have been doing is allowing people to get the copy of the masterclass and get access to the community. If you want access to the Sacred Feminine League now, all the way from now up until we start the program, because people who are in there still will have access until it cuts off around almost mid-January, then you grab your ticket to grab the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. I will make sure my assistant sends you an email and puts you in our community. You'll be able to catch all of the videos that we've had past. And one of my clients, Omida, I don't know if she's still in here, but she's been binge watching that content. We have content on how not to get tricked by narcissistic people, how to become spiritually sovereign, how to protect your energy, how to lead from a feminine space, all of these things, how to deal with men and women when it comes down to your energy, how you really attract and magnetize as a woman, how to sharpen your discernment. I teach you all of this in there. So nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply ain't paying attention. Because women who come to work with me get results. So if that's what you want, I would be willing to open that one more time. We only have one more live session. That's going to be next Monday, and I have a video that I'm dropping Friday for them. But we have one more live session, which is happening Monday. And then they have access to the community to keep watching the videos for the rest of the month until I go into the Magnetic Muse program. So if you want that, if you purchase the Magnetism Reset today, I'll allow you to be in the community to be able to get access. Right now we have about 25, I think, in there. Yeah. So I would love to have you to come in and be in that space. And then too, like I said, you have access to me. So if you want to ask me something directly that I may not answer on here, that may be too personal, or it may be something where, you know, it might be TikTok, give me a band, you can ask me there. Because we have those real conversations over there. Okay? So if you're interested in the Magnetic Muse, send me the word Muse. If you want access to the Sacred Feminine League, And you want the Magnetism Reset course, buy the Magnetism Reset course. You will get access to Sacred Feminine League and go in there and start binge watching them videos. Get that information. Don't go into 2025 talking about some you keep attracting narcissists. Y'all get on my nerves with that. Y'all get on my nerves with that. Y'all have got to understand and be able to recognize a warlock and a witch when you see it. But you can't do it when you're not in power. So I support my clients in getting back in power. You're too heavy spiritually. Because the fact that you made it here, you're too heavy spiritually. That means you have godlike nature, godlike character, and you got dominion. When you gonna start acting like you got the kingdom of heaven within you? Why are you so scary? Activate that power. So that is what I do. You gonna get your power activated over there. So if you're ready for that, come on in, get activated, get yourself together, ask me all the questions you want to ask me before the year is out, while the community is still available. And if you feel like, man, this is so good and powerful, come into the Magnetic Muse. Because we ain't playing no games over there. Okay? Alright. I'm an overthinker. How do I get over that? Increase your faith, which means to increase your belief. Belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave. This is why women who are not pregnant will throw up, think that they're smelling everything in the world, all because they believe they may be pregnant. And they trick their body into doing these things that, according to what they believe pregnancy actually looks like. And when they go to the doctor, they find out they're not pregnant. All of a sudden, they stop throwing up and all that stuff stops. Why? Because belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave. So if you need to elevate your beliefs, then strong recommendation would be for you to get the Magnetism Reset and come into the community, because you would need to work on that now. You don't want to go into January being an overthinker. You need tools to come out of that. Overthinking is a sign of faithlessness, because if something is taken care of, you wouldn't worry about it. You wouldn't worry about it. If you believe that the Most High supplied all of your needs according to His riches and glory, you wouldn't worry about what? Money. Understand what I'm saying? So belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave. And if you want to shift that, come on in. Link in the bio. Okay. Yes, come on in. We're going to be in this community too. All right, girl. Praise the Most High. I would love to join. I understand. But understand this too. I've helped women manifest money to be into my programs. And if you love my content a whole lot, women have made 3 to 4 figures from watching my content alone. So if you grasp the understanding of what I'm saying in my content, you'll be able to afford to work with me. That's one thing for sure. If you get courses from me and you get results, you can either come back to work with me or you can just go on with your life. But I've had clients get information, take it, turn around, flip it, and make money. And come right back. Come on in. Yes, you better tell him, Amita. You better tell him. Because she been binge watching that content. And you'll see, like, when y'all go in there for the ones who, you'll see, like, her comments. And I love it. I love it. Because she's taking full advantage of everything in there, along with the other members in there. And they're getting results. Yes. Tasha said, I'm binge watching all to the... Yes, come on, baby, get all of it. Get all of that. Because it, like Omita say, it's such rich content. And it's deeper than what I talk about here. What I talk about here is already deep, but I go depth in the process. Because my goal, honestly, y'all, I don't care about no money. The Most High gonna take care of me. Like, I put that on, like, that's just what it is. I want women to come out of these scenarios, and I want women to win. I want women to understand their identity. I want women to stop struggling. I want women to stop working twice as hard. I want women to drop these false identities. I want women to burn their capes and live the lives that they're supposed to live. That's my reward. That's my winning. The results. My reward is that my legacy is going to outlive me. That's real. I'm on a mission before I leave this earth to support millions of women in healing. And when that is up, and when that time is up, I'll be up. Okay? So that's my reward. That's my position. Putting women in position to be and operate exactly the way that they were designed to. Nothing more, nothing less. That's obedience. Okay? Let's see. Comments, y'all. Yes, come on in. Welcome, Tiffany. You can, well, Tiffany, when you get your email, the email is going to have some information with the magnetic muse. And when we have our session on Monday, if you have more questions about it, feel free to ask me. Ask me. Why? That's what I said. There is no such thing as a dumb question. I don't care what it is. Ask me. I got you. And if I don't know the answer, I probably got somebody in my Rolodex who can help you. So, and if you work with me, you get access to my connections too. So, yes, 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 yes. Omega. Hello, which program? That's the Sacred Feminine League. So what this is if you want access to that, what you would get is the Magnetism Reset Masterclass ticket. And you would grab that, and then you're going to get an email to give you that masterclass in the email, and you're going to get your login information for the Sacred Feminine League. The Sacred Feminine League is where you log into the community of 25 plus women over there, and you get to see all of the videos that we've done, videos where we talked about, from spiritual sovereignty to protecting yourself to how to enhance your discernment. People tell you about discernment, they don't tell you how. They don't tell you how to discern. And I break down how to discern, how to protect yourself, because nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you're simply not paying attention. And a lot of times we don't pay attention, and sometimes we're paying attention but we still give permission and still participate because we lack belief. So if you want an elevated way of thinking, if you want to really ascend mentally, if you want to protect yourself energetically, if you want to be more rooted, sovereign, and spiritually, then the Sacred Feminine League, grab that. Click the link in the bio, get your ticket to the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. You get access to that. You'll have all the playlists of everything sitting right there. You can just run it, run it, run it. And we have amazing sessions. Amazing sessions, all of them. I need a new notebook just for you. Listen, because I'm good for Tasha. And I says, y'all grab your notebook. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The cycle syncing got me first. So, yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Oop, I hit the sorry, y'all. Okay, y'all. Ain't no more questions. So what I'm hoping is that this brought you some clarity. That was my gift to you, clarity on today. Okay. For those who will be joining me in the Sacred Feminine League, I'm so excited. For those who are interested in the magnetic muse, I'm so excited. I'm just really excited for women to win, and I'm excited to hear about your results. And I'm just very excited that you're ready to do the work, because I know it's not easy. It's not easy doing the work, honestly. And the work is yourself. Just to keep it real with you. It ain't even nothing else externally. The work is yourself, okay? So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I pray that y'all are well on this Wisdom Wednesday, and I pray that what I have given you today has edified you, has inspired you to take action and to take your life serious, and to just not sit around. Not sit around. Don't wait until January 1st to start the process. Start now. Start right now, okay? Thank y'all for these follows. Thank you for the love and the gifts. Have an amazing day, okay? Self-care is the key fundamental of every single relationship, because you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself, and you should treat yourself exceptionally well, because truthfully you deserve that. But only if you believe it. Only if you believe it now. But since you made it here to this earth, apparently you clearly deserve that, okay? Bye, y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing